Okay, good evening, all of you students. Are you hearing my voice? Okay, what about video? Is it streaming properly? Video. Is video streaming properly to you? Okay, right. In morning class, we have discussed in different cases how we can write the dimension formulas. We have dimension formulas for various quantities we have seen, and moreover, we have seen for same type, different types of physical quantities, the dimension formulas are same. So is it possible to have the same dimension formula for two different physical quantities? Means yes. What are those physical quantities? Means we can say angular momentum, Planck's constant, kinetic energy, work done, momentum, impulse. In this way, we can say next torque. I think you might have heard the torque. You have heard the torque. Torque acts on a rotating body. Do you know? Torque acts on a body. Here, in order to move the body along straight line, how we have to apply the force on a body to rotate the body or to change the rotatory motion of a body. Some torque is to be applied on the body. The force applied on a body cannot rotate the body, but the torque acts on a body can rotate the body or can change the rotatory motion of a body. Okay, so torque can be measured as force into perpendicular distance, some distance, whatever it may be. Okay, at that time, whenever we are having rotating motion topic, at that time we will discuss. But in general, torque means force into perpendicular distance. That means force into distance. Work is force into distance. That's why work and torque both are having same dimension formula. Work and torque, these are also having same dimension formula. Okay, that's why name any two physical quantities having same dimension formula means you can write the work and the torque also. Work, kinetic energy, potential energy, heat energy. In this way, we can write internal energy. In this way, you can write different pairs of physical quantities having the same dimensional formula. Okay, next, in morning class, we have seen that we have observed that some physical constants are also having dimensional formula. Universal gravitational constant is there. Isn't it? Already in morning session I discussed it. Capital G. Universal gravitational constant is also having dimension formula. Planck's constant. Here one more example. Planck's constant. Here suppose if you want to write the dimensional formula of the Planck's constant. Of course, I think morning it was also completed. I think morning that Planck's constant was also completed. Okay, we have written the formula, dimensional formula for Planck's constant. Okay, so we got dimensional formula of Planck's constant and dimensional formula of angular momentum. Both are same. Okay, dimensional formula of Planck's constant and the dimensional formula of the angular momentum, we got both same. Similarly, in case of universal gravitational constant, universal gas constant, we had tried. Because for universal gravitational constant, already we have written the dimensional formula. Next, universal gas constant. For this, we have tried the dimensional formula. Universal gas constant. What is the symbol of universal gas constant? What is the symbol of universal gas constant? Are you watching the video stream properly? Of course, I think you are hearing properly, but what about the video? Is it reaching you properly? Okay, somebody wrote it's not reaching. I think it might be problem with signal there. So you adjust yourself. Okay. So here, universal gas constant. The symbol for universal gas constant is capital R, no? For this, we have to write the dimensional formula. How we can write? To write the dimensional formula of universal gas constant, how we can write? First, for which physical quantity we have to write the dimensional formula? First, we have to write the equation involving that physical quantity. Any equation that involves that physical quantity. Tell me any relation, any equation that involves this physical quantity, universal gas constant. Tell me any equation for any physical quantity. Suppose if you want to write the dimension formula, first we have to write the equation involving that physical quantity. Here we have to write the dimension formula for universal gas constant. That's why we have to write, first of all, we have to write the equation involving that physical constant, universal gas constant. Tell me any equation. Okay, somebody wrote PV is equal to nRT, capital nRT. Okay, capital P, capital V is equal to nRT. This is the universal gas equation or ideal gas equation, where P is the pressure, volume, number of moles, next universal gas constant, and temperature. Therefore, we need the dimension formula of universal gas constant. No, that's why R is equal to something you write first. Then first you write the equation involving this universal gas constant term. Then from that you have to write capital R is equal to something you write. Capital R is equal to PV by NT. No, capital R is equal to PV by NT. Therefore, dimension formula of universal gas constant R is equal to dimension formula of this entire PV by NT, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles, and T is the temperature. Okay, PV, for pressure we have to write the dimension formula. What is the dimension formula pressure? Suppose if you do not know, if you doesn't know, then pressure P is equal to force by area. No, pressure P is equal to force by area. So what is the dimension formula pressure? So in this formula you substitute the dimension formula pressure is equal to dimension formula force, means already in morning's class we have written ml t to the power of -2 by area, means L square cancel. Therefore m L inverse t to the power of -2. No, so this is the dimension formula of the pressure. Now you write here dimension formula pressure means so here dimension formula pressure, that is equal to, you write that one, m L to the power of -1 t to the power of -2. It is the dimension formula pressure into volume, means L cube or area of cross section into length. So we can write volume dimension formula L cube by number of moles. What about the number of moles? Dimension formula of number of moles is mole only, so mole, MOL. Temperature, dimension formula of temperature can be written as theta or capital K, so into capital K. So therefore m L inverse t to the power of L inverse L cube, that means L square you will get. No, so L square you write here, you write L square, so ml square m L square t to the power of -2 Kelvin to the power of -1 mole inverse. So this is the dimension formula of universal gas constant. It is the dimension formula of universal gas constant. Here dimension formula of number of moles is mole only. Sometimes if in the options, if mole is not there, this is the dimension formula of universal gas constant, we can write. Okay, so dimension formula of universal gas constant is ml square t to the power of -2 K inverse mole inverse. It is the dimension formula of excuse me, universal gas constant. So here in this way some physical constants are also having dimensional formulas. Okay, now so in this way we have observed the dimensional formulas for various physical quantities and physical constants also. Okay, some ratios are not having any dimensional formula. Some ratios are not having any dimensional formula. Okay, next, sometimes they may ask, name any physical constant having dimensional formula, means you can write universal gravitational constant, universal gas constant, Planck's constant. In this way we can write the dimensional formulas for various physical constants. Okay, even though they are constant, they are having dimensional formula. Okay, so far we have observed how we can write the dimensional formulas for various physical quantities. But what are the uses of this dimensional formula? What is the advantage of writing this dimensional formula? So we have to check the advantages or uses of the dimensional method. Okay, so uses of dimensional method or dimensional analysis. Uses of dimensional method. First one, with the help of the dimensional method, we can check the correctness of the equation connecting various physical quantities. We know there are equations which connects the various physical quantities. For example, v is equal to u plus at you take. V is one physical quantity, u is one physical quantity, a is one physical quantity, time is one physical quantity. A means acceleration. So that equation gives the relation among various physical quantities. Is it correct equation or not? Suppose so far we did not hear that equation. Even then, is it correct or not? We have to say. How we can say? Suppose we are having, what is the time period of a simple pendulum? Time period of a simple pendulum. T is equal to 2 pi root L by Z. Okay, if somebody may know the formula, somebody may not know. But time period of a simple pendulum means, by means of a string, one spear is suspended and the other end of the string is fixed to a rigid support. Now you pull the bob aside and then you release them. Then it makes oscillations like this, no? Just like a pendulum in a clock. In a clock, the pendulum makes oscillations like this. That is called the pendulum, simple pendulum. Okay, here time taken by this pendulum to complete one oscillation, that is called time period. The formula for time period is 2 pi root L by Z. The formula for time period is 2 pi into root L by Z. Is it correct or not? Formula for time period is T is equal to 2 pi into root L by Z, where L is here, you see, this is the pendulum. This is the pendulum. Okay, here by means of a string, one spear is suspended from the rigid support. The length of this pendulum is, this is the length of the pendulum. Okay, when you, this is called spear or bob, BOB. Okay, now you pull the bob aside and you release them. Then it makes oscillations like this. Time taken by this bob to travel from these two ends are called extreme positions. From this one extreme position to travel to other extreme position and then come back to the first extreme position. Whatever the time taken by this bob, that is called the time period. The formula for time period is equal to 2 pi into root L by Z. L is the length of the pendulum. G is the acceleration due to gravity at that place. Of course, this concept is there in oscillations or simple harmonic oscillations, simple harmonic motion. Okay, of course, you may be heard or may not be, even it may be in your syllabus or not, but we doesn't know this formula. But is it correct or not? Is this equation correct or not? We have to check. We can check. That is the advantage of the this dimensional method. So here, this is the equation connecting various physical quantities like time period, length, acceleration due to gravity. So it is the equation connecting three different physical quantities. Is it correct or not? We can check. That is the advantage of the dimensional method. Similarly, suppose S is equal to ut plus half h square is there. So far, you did not hear that formula. You doesn't know. But is it correct or not? We can check with the help of the dimensional method. How? I will explain. How I can explain. Okay. So before here, first we have to check first one. Two, we can verify the correct. This dimensional method is used to verify correctness of equations or formulae connecting various physical quantities. So by means of this dimensional method, we can check the correctness of the equations connecting various physical quantities. Okay, now we will check one example. You don't know that time period of the simple pendulum is equal to 2 pi root L by Z. Okay, time period of the simple pendulum, T is equal to 2 pi root L by Z. Okay, now we have to check the, okay, on left hand side, what is the dimensional formula of time period? On left hand side, dimension formula of time period is equal to, time period means nothing but time. That's why dimension formula is also equal to capital T only, no? Okay, this is equal to m to power of 0, L to power of 0, T to power of 1. It is the dimension formula on left hand side. On left hand side, that means LHS. Dimension formula of time period is equal to this one. Okay. Next, on right hand side, on RHS. Dimension formula of 2 pi into root L by Z is equal to, 2 pi is the number. 2 pi is the number. 2 pi is the number. Okay. Unnecessarily you don't chat in the chat box. Okay. So 2 pi is the number. So that's why it is not having any dimension formula. So you leave them. Then root L means length of the pendulum. So dimension formula is capital L. By G means acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is nothing but acceleration. So what is the dimension formula of acceleration? What is the dimension formula of acceleration? Dimension formula of acceleration is, morning I said, L T to the power of minus 2, no? L T to the power of minus 2. So here L cancel. So 1 by root T to the power of minus 2, or we can write root T to the power of 2. Because this T to the power of minus 2 is brought to numerator, then it becomes T square under roots. Then root T square means, root of T square means that is equal to T only, no? That is equal to, we can write M0, L0, T to the power of 1, no? Here it is the dimension formula on right hand side. Here from these two, if you observe, dimension formula on left hand side, dimension formula on right hand side, both are equal. Both are equal. If you get so, then the given equation is correct, dimensionally correct. The given equation is said to be dimensionally correct, or the given equation is correct according to the dimensional method. That equation may be correct or may not, but according to dimensional method, this is correct. Okay, one more example we will discuss. Suppose S is equal to UT plus AT square. S is equal to UT plus AT square. Of course, you may thought that Sir wrote mistake. Half AT square is no. Actually, this is only the equation. Half is not written intentionally. Okay, so we are given the displacement of a body is equal to initial velocity into time plus acceleration into T square. Here half is not mentioned. Okay, is this equation, why means this type of equation is given. This type of equation is given to us. We have to check, is it correct or not? We have to check. Is it correct or not? We have to check. Okay. Now, dimension formula on left hand side. That means dimension formula of S is equal to, S means displacement, that is equal to L only, no? S is the displacement, nothing but length. That's why dimension formula of S is equal to L. Now, dimension formula on right hand side, UT plus half AT square. So, dimension formula of U means velocity, initial velocity or velocity, whatever it may be. Dimension formula is L T to the power of minus 1 into time, capital T. Okay, plus half means number. Number has no dimension formula, no? That's why it is having no dimension formula. Acceleration means L T to the power of minus 2 into time T. Square is there, so square. So this is equal to, here you see these two cancel, these two cancel. L plus L. Length unit plus length unit, that gives one more length unit. One more length unit. That's why this is equal to L. So you see, in this equation, on right hand side dimension formula is L. On left hand side also dimension formula is same, L only. On right hand side dimension formula is L. On left hand side also dimension formula is L. That's why according to dimension method, this formula is correct. But is it correct equation? You know already this equation. Already we derived that equation. But as we know that equation, this equation is not correct. Whenever it is having half AT square, then only it is correct. But according to dimensional method, we got correct, no? That's why we have to write clearly. According to dimensional method, this formula is correct, but it is not correct equation. So sometimes they may ask, is there any equation here? Here conclusion, what we can write? Conclusion, how we can write? The above equation is dimensionally correct, but it is not the correct equation. Okay, from this we can have conclusion that the equation which is correct dimensionally need not be a correct equation. No? The equation which is correct dimensionally need not be a correct equation. Am I right or not? Here in this equation we have to check. Somebody asked to explain again here. On left hand side, dimension formula means dimension formula of displacement. Displacement is nothing but length. That's why dimension formula of length is equal to capital L. On right hand side, what is the dimension formula of this entire terms? Okay, so dimension formula on right hand side is equal to u means lt to velocity. Velocity means dimension formula is lt to the power of -1 into time is t plus half is the number. It has no dimension formula. Okay, therefore you leave them. A means acceleration. Dimension formula is lt to the power of -2 into t square means time square. Time is dimension formula is capital T. Square is there here. So square. Okay, now here t to the power of -1 cancel. T square to the power of -2 cancel. L plus L. Length plus length. Actually, this is not the length. Centimeter plus centimeter means that is one more centimeter. Unit that is. That's why when you add them, you will get unit centimeter on. Okay, that's why the symbol is L. That means if you add 2 units of length, then you will get unit of length only. If you add centimeter plus centimeter, you won't get joule. Okay, that's why it is equal to unit of length only. That is represented with L. So from these two, if you observe, on left hand side and right hand side, dimension formulas are same. That's why the given equation is dimensionally correct. But already in our previous standards, we have derived this formula. Half whenever the body travel with uniform acceleration, in that case, the displacement of a body is equal to ut plus half at square. That is the correct equation actually. But we got this is the correct equation by this method. So it is dimensionally correct, but it is not a correct equation. So from this, we can conclude that the equation which is dimensionally correct need not be a correct equation. Am I right? Okay. So therefore, what is the conclusion we can draw means the equation which is dimensionally correct. The equation which is dimensionally correct need not be a correct equation. The equation which is dimensionally correct need not be a correct equation. Okay, this is the first advantage of this dimensional method. So with the help of the dimensional method, we can say which equation is correct or not. We can say dimensionally. Okay, that is the advantage of the dimensional method. First advantage of the dimensional method. Next. Next here, we can derive the equations connecting various physical quantities by this dimensional method. Here, second one, with the help of this dimensional method, we can derive the equations. We can derive the equations connecting various physical quantities. Various physical quantities by this dimensional method. The equations connecting various physical quantities can be derived by means of this dimensional method. So how? Suppose we doesn't know time period of the simple pendulum formula. Time period of the simple pendulum formula. But they ask to derive the formula for time period of a simple pendulum. We doesn't know, but we have to derive the formula for time period of a simple pendulum. So with the help of dimensional method, it is possible to us to derive the unknown formula also. So for this, what we need means, which physical quantity we have to derive the formula, for which physical quantity we have to derive the formula for that physical quantity, on which other physical quantities depends, we should know. Then only we can derive that formula by this method, by this dimensional method. Suppose if we want to derive the dimension we want to derive the formula for time period of a simple pendulum. So on what factors or on what physical quantities the time period of the simple pendulum depends, we should know. That will be given in the problem. Okay, so already we have seen the data here, formula I wrote here. On what factors or on what physical quantities dimension time period depends? T is equal to 2 pi root L by G. I said. Okay, on what physical quantities time period depends? Time period depends on, already we derived, no. Time period T, already I said, time period T is equal to 2 pi root L by Z. On what physical quantities this time period depends? It is time period formula is this one. That means this time period depends on L and G, no. That means time period depends on the length and not time. We have to derive the formula for time period. It depends on length and acceleration due to gravity at that place. Of course, 2 pi is the constant. That's why here we have to derive the formula for time period. So we should know on what physical quantities this time period depends, means L and G. We should know. That will be given in the problem only. Okay. So here, example, time period of simple pendulum. Time period T. We have to derive the formula for this. Okay. So on which physical quantities time period depends? Time period T of pendulum, simple pendulum. Time period T of simple pendulum depends on length L and acceleration due to gravity G. We must know this term, this condition. Of course, that is given in the problem only. Okay, so the time period of the simple pendulum depends on L and G. We doesn't know the formula for time period of a simple pendulum, but with the help of this dimensional method, we can derive this formula for time period of a simple pendulum. How we are deriving? Okay, now you see here, all of you look at the board. As time period depends on L and Z, so first you write time period is, as this time period depends on L and Z, you write time period is proportional to L to power of A and Z to power of B. That means on which physical quantities this time period depends, you write those physical quantities to some powers. We doesn't know the powers. To some extent, you write to certain powers. Okay. Or time period T is equal to some proportionality constant K into L to power of A, G to power of B. The proportionality constant cannot be derived by using this dimensional method. The proportionality constant cannot be derived by using this dimensional method. That proportionality constant can be measured with experimentally. It was found that this is a equation 1. It was found experimentally as K is equal to 2 pi. It was found that K is equal to 2 pi experimentally. We cannot derive this constant, proportionality constant, by dimensional method. Okay. Proportionality constant cannot be derived. Proportionality constant cannot be had or cannot be derived by dimensional method. That can be measured experimentally as, 2 pi. Okay. Now, what about powers A and B? If you know these powers A and B, then we can have the formula for time period, because K was determined experimentally, so we know. Okay, then if you know A and B, then we can write the formula for time period. No, that powers A and B can be had by using this dimensional method. Okay, now from equation 1, dimension formula on left hand side is same as the dimension formula on right hand side. No, on LHS, dimension formula of time period is equal to T only, T to the power of 1. T means T to the power of 1. On right hand side, dimension formula of K, L to the power of A, G to the power of B is equal to, K means it is the number, so has no dimension formula. L means length. length dimension formula is capital L, power A is there, G means acceleration due to gravity, nothing but acceleration. Dimension formula is L t to the power of -2. Okay, power B is there, so whole to the power of B. So this is equal to L to the power of A into L to the power of B t to the power of -2B, or L to the power of A plus B into t to the power of -2B. Okay, we can write like this now. Now, here already we observed in any equation, the dimension formula on left hand side, dimension formula on right hand side, those must be same now. That's why therefore dimension formula on left hand side is equal to dimension formula on right hand side. Dimension formula on left hand side is equal to t to the power of 1. Dimension formula on right hand side is equal to L to the power of A plus B into t to the power of -2B. What is the power of time period here? What is the power of time here? -2B. Here bases are equal, no? Here bases are equal. That's why powers can be equated, no? Whenever bases are equal, powers can be equated. That's why 1 is equal to -2B. Implies whatever B value, 1 by -2 means -half. It is the B value. Similarly, how we can find A value? Here you see, on left hand side, dimension formula is t to the power of 1. Okay. Here L term is not there. That's why we can write L to the power of 0 also, no? This is equal to, we can write M0, L0, t to the power of 1 we can write now. So we can write like this also. So here base is L, here base is L. So powers can be equated, no? That's why A plus B, as bases are equal, powers are equal. So A plus B is equal to, power is, here power is A plus B, here power is 0. That's why we make them equal to 0. But A plus B means -half. That is equal to 0. Implies A is equal to half. Therefore, you substitute these A, B values in equation 1. Therefore, from equation 1, time period of the simple pendulum T is equal to K means already experimentally it was found to be 2 pi. That's why 2 pi into L to small L to power of A means A is equal to half into Z to power of B means -half. So time period T is equal to 2 pi into, here this can be written as, you see, 2 pi into L to power of half by G to power of half we can write now. You write this G to power of -half in the denominator so that you will get G to power of half, 1 by G to power of half. Therefore, 2 pi into L to power of half by G to power of half means we can write 2 pi into root L by G you can write now. So already we know this is the formula for time period of a simple pendulum. Hence it was proved. So in this way, we can derive the equation connecting various physical quantities. That is the one more advantage or use of the dimensional method. Okay. So in this way, one more use is also there to convert the system of units from one system into another system also we can use. Here, third use, one more last use in this. There are 3 uses. So third use, to convert one unit into other unit. 1 Newton is equal to how many dyne? 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 10 to the power of 5 dyne, no? Okay, very good. 10 to the power of 5 dyne. So 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne. But we doesn't know. We have to show example. We have to prove 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne. So we have to prove this one. Or we doesn't know 1 Newton is equal to how many dyne. We have to prove them. Okay. Already we know at first only every measurement can be written as magnitude of that unit into unit, nu is equal to constant. We know for any measurement nu is equal to constant. Already I said at the beginning only. I said when you measure the any physical quantity, the product of magnitude and the unit in which it is measured, this product remains constant in any system you measure the physical quantity. The measurement does not alter. When unit is changed, the magnitude will change, but the product of magnitude and unit always remains constant. Here, this is one unit, this is another unit. That's why here this is the magnitude, this is the magnitude. So n1 into this is unit u1 is equal to n2 into u2. We have to prove this one. 1 Newton is equal to how many dyne they asked. You don't write this one. Here 1 Newton is equal to how many dyne? Dash dyne. We have to find. Let's n1 Newton is equal to, here let's you write n1 Newton is equal to n2 dyne. We have to find this n2. Okay, n1 means 1 into Newton means, actually it is the unit. No, I will write general formula. n1 into Newton is the unit in SI system. That's why you write u1 is equal to n2 into dyne is the unit in another system, that is say u2. Both are not equal because it is the unit in one system, it is the unit in another system. That's why you write differently. Now 1, here you see 1 into n1 means 1 into u1 means Newton. Okay, that is equal to n2 into u2 means that must be in dyne. This is equation 1. We have to find the n2 now. Here 1 into, okay, you leave this one. So Newton means how we can write dimension formula of Newton? Dimension formula for Newton is the unit of force. So what is the dimension formula of force? ml t to the power of minus 2. In morning class we derived. Okay, that's why dimension formula of Newton is ml t to the power of minus 2. Okay, but it is in SI system. To distinguish the unit in SI system and unit in CS system, just you write in differently. Unit in SI system as m1 l1 t1 to the power of minus 2. That is equal to n2 into unit of dyne means m2. Formula is, dimension formula is same because it is the unit of force. It is the unit of force. That's why dimension formulas are same. But it is the unit of force in SI system. It is the unit of force in CS system. In order to distinguish them, you write m2 l2 t to the power of minus 2. Are you follow this one? If you follow this one, the problem is over. Are you follow this one or not? First you tell me. You respond in chat box immediately. Come on. Okay. So here Newton is the unit of force. That's why you write the dimension formula of unit of force in SI system. To represent this is the unit in SI system, you write m1 l1 t1. You write this is the unit of force in CS system. So you mention differently m2 l2 t to the power of minus 2. It is in CS system, it is in SI system. It is in CS system. Or you write this step first. You write this step. 1 into n means that is the unit of force in SI system. Okay. SI unit of force. This is equal to n2 into whatever dyne. Dyne is the CGS unit of force. CGS unit of force. Okay, now 1 into means just directly in brackets you write SI unit of force. It is the CS unit of force. Both are same, ml t to the power of minus 2 only, because unit of force, it is also unit of force. The unit of force can be represented by dimensional method as ml t to the power of minus 2, no? ml t to the power of minus 2. Okay, that's why you write to distinguish the units of force in both the systems. So you write m1 l1 t1 to the power of minus 2 is equal to n2 into m2 l2 t to the power of minus 2. It is the CGS unit of force, or it is the dimensional formula of force in CS unit. It is the dimensional formula of force in SI system or SI unit, SI system. Okay. In SI system, what about M1? In SI system, what about M1? In SI system, what is M1? Anybody else immediately respond? In SI system, it is in meter. So meter. Sorry, here it is mass, no? Mass unit, kilogram. In SI system, M1 means kilogram, no? So it is in kilogram. L1 means meter in SI system. T1 means second. 2 power of minus 2 is there. You're right. N2 we have to find. M2 means that is the Cesius unit of mass. That means gram. L2 means centimeter. T2 means second only. Second to power of minus 2. Okay. Now here it is in these are in CS system. These are in SI system. You convert these also into SI system. CS system. Kilogram means 1000 gram into meter means 100 centimeter into second to power of minus 2 is equal to N2 into gram centimeter second to power of minus 2. Here gram cancel, centimeter cancel, s to power of minus 2, s to power of minus 2 cancel. Then what you will get? N2 is equal to 10 to the power of 5, no? 1000 into 100, 1 lakh means 10 to the power of 5. Therefore, you substitute this value in this equation. Therefore, from 1 Newton is equal to N2 means 10 to the power of 5 dyne. Already I said, no? So this is in this way. Here we are given the unit of force in one system. It is converted into unit of force in unit of the same force in the other system. In this way, the unit of one system can be converted into another system. It was asked even in 2018, I think. In 2018 mains paper, they asked the problem based on this concept. They asked the problem based on this concept. Here, it is given that I will say one example. I will take class up to 7:15. Okay, I will take class up to 7:15. So here, in previous papers, in G mains exam, one problem is given. One more example I want to explain. One more problem I want to explain. Density of body. Density of body in SI system is equal to 128 kilogram per meter cube. Density means mass by volume. Mass means kilogram, volume is meter cube. That's why kilogram per meter cube is the unit of density. Okay. So density of the body in SI system is given as 128 kilogram per meter cube, where kilogram is the unit of mass in SI system, meter is the unit of length in SI system. But in certain new system, in certain system, unit of mass, it is given in 2018 mains paper. Okay, listen carefully. In certain system or certain units, unit of mass is 25 centimeter and unit of mass is 50 gram. Unit of mass is 50 gram. Here, unit of mass is 50 gram and unit of length is 25 centimeter. Then numerical value of density in certain system, if unit of mass is 50 gram and unit of length is 25 centimeter, then numerical value of density in new system is dash. This is the question they asked. Here This is the question they asked. Same type. Here, this is the question in 2018 mains they asked. Okay, same type of question. Here you see density N1 U1 is equal to N2 U2, because in any system, in terms of any units they measure, the measurement does not alter. Suppose if you measure when you measure the length of the wire as 100 centimeter in CS system, even you measure the same length in SI system, you will get 1 meter. 1 meter is same as the 100 centimeter, no? That's why measurement does not alter. But based on the system in which it is measured, the magnitude means that number changes. In CS system, 100 is there. In SI system, as it is expressed in meter, 1 is there. That magnitude will change, but measurement does not alter. That's why even you measure the density of the given body in SI system or in the new system, it does not change. That's why N1 measurement is N into U. So measurement does not change. In this system, measurement is this one. In this system, measurement is this one. Here you see N1 means 128 into U1 means unit, kilogram per meter cube. Kilogram per meter cube is equal to N2 into N2 we had to find into what is kilogram here? Mass is measured in, you see here actually, okay, here we write like this first. Here it is the density in SI system. In SI system, what is the dimension formula of density? M by L cube. Dimensional formula of kilogram means M by meter means L cube. M L cube. That means M L to the power of minus 3 is the dimensional formula of density. In SI system, it is say M1 L1. Okay, is equal to N2 into. In CS, in new system, unit of mass is M2, unit of length is L2. Power minus 3. You write like this. Now 128 into unit of mass in SI system is kilogram. Already it is given. L1 means meter, 2 to the power of minus 3 is equal to N2 we had to find into M2. M2 is the unit of mass in the new system. What is the unit of mass in new system? What is the unit of mass in new system? What is the unit of mass in new system? 50 gram. That's why here M2 means you write 50 gram. Unit of length in new system, 25 centimeter. So 25 centimeter. Whole to the power of minus 3 is there. So you write whole to the power of minus 3. Now, as it is in CS system, gram, centimeter, these are in CS system. You convert this also in CS system. 128 into kilogram means 1000 gram. By meter cube we can write now. By meter cube means by meter means 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter. Cube is there. You write cube is equal to N2 into 50 gram into, okay, you write by 25 centimeter whole cube. That means 25 cube into centimeter cube. Okay. Here we see centimeter cube cancel. Gram cancel. Therefore, from this N2 is equal to here we see 128 into here 10 to the power of 3 we can write by here 10 square whole cube means 10 to the power of 6 into do cross multiplication. 25 cube means 25 into 25 by 50. Because when you do cross multiplication, 50 comes to denominator now. So 50. 25 twos are, okay. Here 10 cube, here it becomes cube. Therefore, 128 into 25 into 25 by 1000. 1000 into 2. 264s are we can write. Okay. 25 4s are 100, 40. 5 5s are 5 8s are 8 8s are. Therefore, N2 is equal to 40. 8 into 5 5s are, here you see 8 into 5 40. So what is the magnitude of the same density of the given body in the new system? Means magnitude of the density of the body in the new system is 40. This is the answer. This is the answer. Okay. So last point, So in this way, we can convert the one system into another system. Okay. Today I will send some problems to you. Based on this concept, you have to say, you can do. Okay. I will send the assignment to you just after completion of this class. Then you go through those problems and you finish the work. Okay. So these are the uses of the dimension method. Next, limitations or disadvantages of the dimensional method. Limitations. Limitations of dimensional method or dimensional analysis. That means what are the drawbacks or what are the conditions at which these dimensional method can be applied. Here, first one, the equation in which physical constant involves, that formulas cannot be derived by this dimensional method. The equations in which the proportionality constants are having dimensions, that formula cannot be derived by this dimensional method. Already in morning session I said f is equal to g into m1 m2 by r square. In that proportionality constant g is having dimension formula, no? That type of formulas cannot be derived by using this dimensional method. So equations in which physical constant, equation in which physical constants having dimensions cannot be derived by this method. That is one limitation or disadvantage of the dimensional method. One more, or it is the demerit. Previously whatever we discussed, they are the merits and these are the demerits, or advantages, disadvantages. Okay, or limitations. Next, the equations involving trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, exponential functions, that type of equations cannot be derived by this dimensional method. Okay, that's why equations involving trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, exponential functions, etc. cannot be derived by. Okay, that's enough. This is one more disadvantage. Next, the equation in which the physical quantity is equal to two or more other quantities, that cannot be derived by this method. For example, you see s is equal to ut plus half at square is there. Here on right hand side, it is one physical quantity, it is another physical quantity. It is one term, it is another term. That means it is one physical quantity, it is another physical quantity. That means it is the sum of the two physical quantities. Displacement s is equal to sum of the two physical quantities. This type of equations cannot be derived. Suppose if displacement s is equal to v into t, this type of equations can be derived, because the product or division of any physical quantities gives a single physical quantity. That's why this product is equal to s. The product of these two different physical quantities gives a physical quantity. Okay, that's why if product is there or division is there, the division of any two physical quantities gives the single physical quantity. Okay, that's why here the equation in which the physical quantity is equal to product of any two other physical quantities or division of any two other physical quantities, that can be derived. But the equation in which the physical quantity is equal to two or more other physical quantities, such type of formula cannot be derived by this dimensional method. Are you understood this one? Come on, respond. Are you understood? This is very, very important. Okay, so the equation in which the physical quantity is equal to sum of the two or more other quantities, physical quantities, such type of equations cannot be derived by this dimensional method. So equations in which physical quantity is equal to 2 or more other quantity is equal to sum of 2 or more other quantities, they cannot be derived. They cannot be derived. So these are the limitations or disadvantages of the dimensional method. Okay. Next, principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. Here, can we add temperature and length 10 degrees centigrade plus 5 centimeter? Can we write like this? Can we write 10 degrees centigrade plus 5 centimeter? Can we write? No. Can we write 10 centimeter plus 5 centimeter? 5 centimeter plus 10 centimeter. Can we write? 5 centimeter plus 10 centimeter means physical. These are the 10 centimeter, 5 centimeter. These two are the lengths. That's why the physical quantities are of same type. The physical quantities are of same type, can be added, subtracted, or equated. The physical quantities are of same type, can be added, subtracted, or equated. So physical quantities of same type can be added, subtracted, or equated. Physical quantities are of same type, can be added, subtracted, or equated. This is the fundamental concept. That is called principle of homogeneity. This is called principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. So the physical quantities are of same type, can be added, subtracted, or equated. It is called as the principle of homogeneity. But the physical quantities of different types can be divided, multiplied. The physical quantities of different types can be divided or multiplied. So based on this concept, one problem is given in 2018, I think. That question is, example, which combination is not possible is A, C by BD minus, here A, B, C, D are different physical quantities. You see, here which combination is not possible? A, B, C, they are different physical quantities. A, B, C, they are the different physical quantities. Okay, just 5 minutes more. Okay, A, B, C, they are different physical quantities. Here, which option is not possible here? A is given like this. Which is possible? Not possible. Here, which combination is? Which combination is possible? We have tried. C by BD minus AD square by, sorry, here not possible only. It is given not possible. Not possible. Okay. C by BD minus AD square by C. Option B. A square minus B square C square. Option D. C. A by B minus C. Option D. A by B. Sorry. A by D minus C. A minus C by D. It is the question they asked. Here, C by BD minus AD square by C. A square minus B square C square. A by B minus C. A minus C by D. Which option is not possible? Somebody said option C may be correct. Okay. Why it is not correct, I will explain. Okay. Maybe C or D. Okay. You see, it is possible or not? A by B, that means different physical quantities can be divided. Okay. That's why it is possible. This may be equal to C, no? This A by B may be equal to C. Suppose this is acceleration, C is acceleration, A is the velocity, B is the time. Here V by T minus A. V by T means acceleration, minus A means acceleration. So there is a possibility, no? But which is not possible? That is the question, no. That's why it is correct. Okay, this option is correct. That's why it is not the option. C by BD. C by BD option may be equal to this one, no? Because the product or division gives one physical quantity. That may be equal to this one, no? That's why there is a possibility for this also. Here, as multiplication is there, the multiplication of B square C square may be equal to A square. There is a possibility. We can multiply different physical quantities. So there is a possibility. But physical quantities are of different types. Can be added? Can we add? No. That's why this is not, A minus C is not possible. A minus C is not possible. That's why this option is not possible. So answer is this one. This is the answer. Okay, in this way we had to write. Last one. Velocity of a body is represented by the equation at square plus bt plus c. V velocity, t time, a, b, c are constants. Then what is the dimension formula of A, dimension formula of B, and dimension formula of C? What last one, last point, just 2 minutes. Okay, so the velocity of a body varies with time according to the equation like this. Then what are the dimension formulas of these constants A, B, and C? That is the question they asked. Here you see, here at square is one physical quantity, bt is another physical quantity. Plus symbol is there, addition is there between them. That's why these two must be of the same type, no? These two must be of same physical quantities, no? These two must be same physical quantities. Then only we can add. Otherwise, we cannot add. According to principle of homogeneity. Okay, that's why these two are same. Here also plus is there, plus or minus whatever it may be. These two must be same. Equality is there. That's why if this is velocity, then this must be equal to velocity only. If equality is there, can be added, subtracted, or equated. If the physical quantities are of same type, can be added, subtracted, or equated. That's why addition is there means all these are same type of physical quantities. Equality is there means definitely this is equal to this one, this is equal to this one, this is equal to this one dimensional. That's why according to principle of homogeneity, according to principle of homogeneity, okay, dimension formula of velocity must be equal to dimension formula of at square. So dimension formula of velocity means L t to the power of -1 is equal to dimension formula of A into dimension formula of t square means capital T square, no? Therefore, dimension formula of A is equal to L t to the power of -1 by t square. That is equal to L t to the power of -3 it becomes this one, no? So dimension formula of A is equal to L t to the power of -3. This is the dimension formula of A. Sometimes they may ask, of course, dimension formula of A is what? They may ask like that. What is the SI unit of physical constant A? SI unit of constant A is what? They may ask. For that, first you write the dimension formula of A. Then what is the SI unit of A? If dimension formula is this one, SI unit is, in SI system, L means meter, T means second, power -3 is there, -3. That's why SI unit of A is meter second to the power of -3. Similarly, last 1 minute. I will conclude. Tomorrow I will start the new chapter, vectors. Okay. So here, dimension formula B we need. That's why already as equality is there, definitely dimension formula V is equal to BT now. So dimension formula V is equal to dimension formula BT. So dimension formula V means L to the power of -1. Dimension formula B into dimension formula T means capital T. Okay, that implies dimension formula B is equal to you write t, you multiply, just cross multiplication. L t to the power of -1 by t means L t to the power of -2 you will get. So this is the dimension formula of V. What is the SI unit of V now? What is the SI unit of V? In SI system, L means meter, T means second. So meter second to the power of -2. Next, last point. Dimension formula V is equal to dimension formula of C. So dimension formula of V means L to the power of -1 is equal to dimension formula of C. So what is the dimension formula of C means L to the power of -1. In this way, we can write the dimension formulas for various constants here with the help of principle of homogeneity. So what is the SI unit of C means? Yes, dimension formula of C is this one. SI unit means L means in SI system meter, T means second, meter second to the power of -2. So with this chapter is over. Okay, last 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. Okay, I will send the problems to you. I will send some assignment problems to you. So what is that problem we have to see? Last one. One minute. I will show the problem. Okay. One ton means how many kgs? 1 ton. 1 ton or 1 metric ton is equal to how many kgs? Okay, very good. 1000 kgs. Okay. Problem is here only. The last problem, Anna. Only one problem. With this, the chapter can be concluded. Okay, tomorrow we can start the new chapter. Okay. Last one. Here you see, turpentine oil is flowing through a tube of length L. Length. Here there is a tube. In this tube, turpentine is flowing. The length of the tube is L. Length is equal to L. And radius is equal to R. Pressure difference across the tube is P. Viscosity of the oil or coefficient of viscosity. Here eta is given as P into R square minus X square by 4 into V into L, where V is velocity of oil at a distance X. Okay, this is the formula. Here, what is here coefficient of viscosity means in friction, you know, coefficient of friction. Just like in solids, coefficient of friction is there. In liquids, the coefficient of viscosity. This property of the liquid, coefficient of viscosity, opposes the fluid in motion. That opposes the fluid flow. That's why it is called coefficient of viscosity. Formula for coefficient of viscosity is given like this: P into R square minus X square by 4 VL. P is the pressure. Already we write the dimension formula for pressure. We substitute the dimension formula for pressure. Okay. Here they asked, what is the dimension formula of coefficient of viscosity? They asked. Okay. Dimension formula of coefficient of viscosity they asked. So dimension formula of coefficient of viscosity is equal to dimension formula of pressure. Pressure means force by area. That means you will get ml inverse T to the power of -2. Already go, just you refer the previous concept. Already I said force by area. Force means ml T to the power of -2 by area means L square. So simplification gives this one into dimension formula of R square. R means radius. Radius means nothing but length. That's why L square. It is also L square only. L square minus L square means not 0. L square minus L square means it gives one more L square. So L square by 4 constant, it has no dimension formula. V is the velocity, means L to the power of minus 1 into length L. So here L square, this L square cancel no. L into L square cancel. Therefore, dimension formula of coefficient of viscosity is equal to M L inverse T to the power of minus 1 no. M L inverse T to the power of, it becomes plus 1. So T to the power of minus 1 remainder. That's why it is the dimension formula of the coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so here this is the answer, ML inverse T to the power of minus 1. Okay, this is the dimension formula of the coefficient of viscosity. Okay, with this I will complete the I will conclude the class today. Okay, tomorrow if any doubts are there in the assignment, we will discuss the doubts in that class, and I will start the new chapter vectors. Okay, have a nice day. Good night all of you. Okay, I am signing out.